Hey there, lovely souls! If you've been feeling like a wilted flower in the garden of your life since your husband passed, stick around. Today, we're going to water those roots and learn how to bloom again, because you deserve to feel love, starting with yourself. Alright, today I'm going to give you 6 different things to try that you can use to work on your self-love a little bit more. And within each one, I'm going to give you like 5 different exercises that you can try. So let's get started. The first one we're going to do is an access consciousness tool called Interesting Point of View. The concept of this tool is to detach yourself from self-judgment and create more space for love. So everybody judges themselves, right? You sometimes will just have this like nagging feeling within you that you'll look at yourself in the mirror and be like, ugh, you'll have this like inner dialogue going on. And so you're judging yourself. And when you're judging yourself, other people judge themselves too. And then people judge other people, and it just creates a whole thing. And like, well, what if you didn't have to judge yourself? What if you could look at yourself and love yourself? Because when we were born, we didn't judge ourselves. We had all our little chubby little fat rolls and everything, and that's cute when you're a baby, but then what happens? Judgment. So let's destroy and uncreate all of that. So the first exercise that we're going to use with Interesting Point of View is each time you catch yourself judging yourself, you can say, interesting point of view, I have this point of view, and then repeat that for like a week. And you can just keep going. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Whenever you catch yourself judging yourself, use that. You can also use it when other people are judging you. You can say, interesting point of view, they have that point of view. Interesting point of view that I have that point of view, that they have that point of view too. You can use it like that as well. So you're not judging their judgments. The next one we're going to use with Interesting Point of View is a journal prompt. So you can write down 3 judgments that you have about yourself, and next to each one, write interesting point of view and how you could reframe it in a different way. The third thing that we can use with interesting point of view is create an affirmation around this concept, like, I embrace all perspectives of myself. And you can say that every morning. I embrace all aspects of myself. I embrace all the beautiful aspects of myself. I embrace all the aspects of myself. And that already just feels really light. The fourth thing that you can do with this concept is group reflection. So you could share your judgments in a safe place, like a support group or something. And then collectively you could practice reframing those. And anywhere that you have any judgments about any of that, you don't have to say it even. You could just think it in your head, like, interesting point of view. I have this point of view, or interesting point of view. Everyone does have an interesting point of view as well. The fourth one is one that I really like, and that's mirror reflection. So stand in front of a mirror and identify your self-judgment. You can like lower your walls and barriers and just be with it. Just be with whatever judgment comes up, and then you can shift your perspective by saying interesting point of view to yourself. So the more that you do this, you'll find that when you look in the mirror, you don't have as many judgments about yourself. And I started doing this like a lot. It was kind of hard, but the more I do it, I'm like, oh, that was just an interesting point of view. That's not necessarily true. And then I can look at myself again and that judgment isn't there. I'm like, oh, where did it go? Who cares? This feels great, not judging myself when I look in the mirror. So give that a go. See how you like it, because it can really shift a lot of things and it brings out more room for that self-love that we're all looking for. So give that a shot. The second one that we're going to use is mirror work, inspired by Louise. Oh look, there's 2 of me. Alright, the first exercise that we're going to use is, in the morning when you look in the mirror, you can say, I love you, I love you. And say your name too. I love you, Holly. I really do. And do this for 10 days. It is hard at first. I will say it can be hard, but especially if you really are new to even thinking about loving yourself. There's some people that just have not really gone there and have a hard time with this. So it can take a little bit, but the more you do it, the easier it is. And when you smile into the mirror, you always get a smile back. So hey, you at least get that. The second thing we're going to do with this concept of mirror work is compliment yourself. You can write down 5 things that you love about yourself on a sticky note and stick them on the mirror. The bathroom mirror is perfect. When you're in the bathroom getting ready in the morning and before bed, you can read them aloud to yourself, and it can cheer you up and brighten your spirits. The more that you compliment yourself, the more you'll get used to other other people complimenting you too. And I know that's another thing that can be kind of hard to accept compliments from people and receive that. A lot of people have trouble with that. It's like they're not used to it or something, and that's possible. With your upbringing, you never know. Some people did not receive that growing up. So definitely play around with that and start to receive those compliments and compliment yourself too. The third exercise we're going to talk about is self-compassion practice. So when you catch yourself being self-critical, you can look in the mirror and gently say, I love you, please forgive me, I'm sorry, and thank you. You want to cultivate that relationship with yourself. If you can look in the mirror and have gratitude for yourself and be gentle with yourself, that can also do a lot for your self-love cultivation. Okay, the fifth thing that we're going to talk about with mirror work is imagine that you're looking at the child version of you, the little girl, okay? And you can speak to that vision, and you can even put up like a little picture of yourself when you were a kid next to the mirror too. And you can just look at that little girl and say all of the loving, kind things that you wish that someone said to you when you were little, or the things that you always wanted to hear as a little girl. Say them to yourself. Tell yourself that self-love, and you'll see how much that can change things, because you don't have to wait for those people to say those things about you. You can acknowledge that within you and say that to yourself and feel good. So that's the second one. Mirror work, it's very powerful. It isn't easy, but it's definitely worth it. All right, the third tool that we're going to use is creating a self-care sanctuary. And it's basically just designing a little personal nook space for your self-care, and it's fostering a nurturing environment for you. So the first thing you can do is just kind of get it set up. Dedicate like a corner of a room, or maybe it's your bathroom, or just anywhere that you can find that you really want to spend time in. And that can be decorated with items that you really like and use a lot, and they make you feel good. So like a candle, or you have like a little library next to it, and some nice lighting, maybe some little fairy lights. Make it your own. Make it like a place that you really would like to spend time in, and just you're in that mode of like nurturing self-care. The second thing that we're going to do is a self-care ritual. So establish a weekly ritual for yourself, like a bubble bath or reading time, and whatever works for you, whatever is more nurturing for you, and do that in your sanctuary that you created. You can also designate one day a week and as your self-love day, and on this day you can plan activities that nourish you, nourish your heart, nourish your spirit, such as indulging in a favorite hobby, treating yourself to a nice meal, taking time for relaxation. Maybe you go to the gym, maybe you go to the spa, maybe go shopping, who knows? Whatever just makes you feel good and whatever feels light for you on that day. The key is to consciously choose activities that make you feel loved and valued, and it helps you to shift your mindset from fear to self-compassion. And then you can reflect afterwards, like, how do these loving actions impact your feelings of self-worth and self-love? And you'll be able to see all of the actions and things that you're doing and being and nurturing yourself. You're gonna start to enjoy that more, and you'll just be more creative with it every week. Another thing you can add to your self-care sanctuary is scent therapy. You can get those essential oil diffusers, and you just add like a little bit of water, and then you add like a few drops of some scents that you really love. There's some that are like really good for calming, and some that are really like inspiring for warmth, or some to make you more alert, more relaxed. Yeah, so you can have a lot of fun and play with different scents for that, and they can create a lot of peace and joy, and the smell is really nice. It adds another layer to your self-care. The fourth thing that you can do in your self-care sanctuary is you can create a playlist of songs that uplift you, and you can play them in your sanctuary like during your self-care time. The fifth thing that you can do, if you're really visual like me and you're creative, you can make a vision board that represents your dreams and desires, and hang it in your sanctuary for daily inspiration. Or you can like create art and hang that up too, whatever you like. Another tool that we're going to talk about for cultivating self-love is gratitude journaling. Regularly writing down like what you're grateful for enhances your sense of self-worth and positivity. So the first exercise that we're gonna talk about is a daily gratitude list. You can write down 3 things that you're grateful for and include personal qualities that you're grateful for too. That's an added bonus. The second thing that you can do is a weekly reflection. So like once a week, reflect on the past week and write about moments that you felt proud of yourself. The third thing you can do with gratitude is create a gratitude jar. So you can create a jar where you can drop in little notes of gratitude and then you can read them whenever you need a boost. The fourth thing that you can do is write a gratitude letter. You can write a letter to yourself expressing gratitude for your journey and how far you've come, all the things that you're grateful for, and read it whenever you need reassurance. Another thing that you can do is a visual gratitude of like photographs that represent things that you're grateful for and create a gratitude wall in your home. So those are some fun things you can do that are related to gratitude, and the more gratitude that you have, the more space you have for the self-love that you're wanting to cultivate. So the next tool we're going to look at is choosing love over fear, which is inspired by the book The Choice for Love by Dr. Barbara DeAngelis. And I talked about that in the last video that I did last week. So I'll put that at the end and you can check that one out. So the whole concept is basically making conscious choices that prioritize love and self-awareness over fear and self-doubt. And that's really essential for self-love. The first exercise we're going to do is identify fearful thoughts. So you can spend a few minutes each day writing down any fearful thoughts that you have or self-criticisms that come to mind, and you can acknowledge them without judgment. You can just sit there and be with them, acknowledge them, okay? But don't let them have any charge over you. You can also go back and use interesting point of view for any of these as well. The second thing we're going to do is reframe with love. So each fearful thought you have, write a loving counter statement. For example, if you think, I'm not good enough, maybe you've been told that a lot, maybe you bought it as true and real for you, but you can reframe it and you can say, I am enough just as I am, okay? So you can change that. The third thing we're going to talk about is daily love choices. So each morning you can choose one small action that expresses love for yourself, like treating yourself to a favorite coffee, or maybe taking yourself for a leisurely walk, or going to see a movie that you want to see, or doing something specifically for you. Especially as a widow, you would probably have these things done for you or with your husband or significant other. You would do that together, but there's nothing that says you can't do that for yourself and still feel good. Your husband would definitely want you to feel good. And from my point of view, they're right there with you, and I'm sure they're going to give you some ideas about what you can do with yourself. Be aware and just have fun. There's nothing wrong with that, and having a day for yourself is not wrong. The fourth exercise is compassionate self-talk. Create a list of loving phrases that you can say to yourself whenever you're feeling down, and then practice saying these aloud in moments of doubt. So you could write, you're going to do great today, you're going to knock out that interview, or you're going to get that client today, you're going to have an amazing day, today is going to be a good day for you. All of those things, you can write them down, and then when you're feeling wake up just feeling really crappy, you can pull that out and read it to yourself, and that can help make you feel a little bit better. Another tool that you can use is, who does this belong to? I've talked about that in another video as well, because that is a really good tool for if you're feeling really bad about something and you have no idea why. Chances are it's not even yours, so that's another great tool. The sixth thing that you can do for choosing love over fear is writing a love letter to yourself. So you can write a heartfelt letter to yourself as if you were writing a dear friend, expressing love, understanding, and compassion for your experiences, challenges, and feelings. Include reminders of your strengths and how far you've come, and of course, you deserve love. Read this letter to yourself whenever you feel self-doubt coming in, and it reinforces your choices for love and self-awareness. All right, the sixth tool that we're going to use for cultivating self-love for ourselves is an access consciousness tool. And of course, they have a ton of amazing tools. This one is questions for self-love. So access is all about asking questions, being in the question, and questions open doors to opportunities and possibilities that just saying a statement doesn't. It basically just melts the rigidity of reality. When you ask a question, it bulldozes those walls completely down, and it creates space for more more awareness. So I wrote down some questions that we can use for self-love. The first one is, what would it take for me to fully love and accept myself? This question opens the doors to possibilities and invites change without attachment to specific outcomes. When you attach yourself to specific outcomes, it kind of puts like a halt on anything that you're asking for. So leaving that question open invites the possibilities to fully love yourself. The second one is, what if I didn't judge myself for my past choices? This encourages you to let go of the self-judgment and embrace the journey with compassion. Because if you're holding on to the past, you don't have room for the future. So this question helps you to kind of like let go of that and any judgment that you have over anything that's happened in the past. The third question that we're going to ask is, how does it get any better than this? It's a classic access consciousness question that invites you to seek continuous improvement, and it opens up a new avenue for self-exploration and appreciation. The fourth question we can ask is, what points of view am I holding that are preventing me from loving myself? This prompts you to explore limiting beliefs about yourself, and it helps you identify perspectives that may not serve you. The fifth question is, what if I could be kind to myself no matter what? This question encourages a nurturing attitude and challenges you to practice kindness to yourself in all situations. The sixth question is, what would my life be like if I truly loved myself? This invites you to visualize the possibilities and inspires actions towards creating that reality. The seventh question is, what have I made so vital about not loving myself that keeps me from it? This helps to uncover any underlying beliefs and maybe blocking you from self-love and offers you a chance to release them. Number 8, how can I create more space for self-love in my life? This question encourages you to think about actionable steps to invite more love into your daily routine. The 9th question is, what would it look like to choose me and my happiness today? This question invites you to prioritize your own needs and desires, helping you to envision practical steps towards embracing self-love and joy in your daily life. Hey, if you like this video, please support my channel and subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and let me know if you made it this far, and let me know which exercise you're gonna try first. Remember, loving yourself is not selfish, it's essential. As you embrace this new journey, keep in mind, you're not just a beautiful person, you're an infinite being and a beautiful force of nature. Until next time, keep shining, keep smiling, and don't forget to show yourself some love. Bye!